Great. Hi, everybody. Brittany Miller here with your weekly updates from the center. And I'm really excited to be joined by Brittany Johnson, who is going to share a little bit about this little event that we have coming up in a couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not, but our annual convening is right around the corner. And so our celebrity guest for the week is Brittany Johnson, who she and her team have been working diligently in the background, making sure that all of our learning is going to come together without a hitch. So would love to hear a little bit about what you're most looking forward to, Brittany.
Thanks, Brittany. Yes, we have been diligently working in the background. And as we talk about, OBC is truly a team sport, and that includes even planning all of these sessions. So thank you to everybody that has been working alongside us. But to answer your question, what am I most excited about? So when I was really thinking, when I think about the event as a whole and what we're putting together, what I'm really excited about is that we're bringing together the entire outcomes-based contracting ecosystem, and for the first time, right? And so from providers to districts to state leaders to intermediaries, everybody in that ecosystem, right? And then I think, okay, so why is that a big deal, right? And for me, it's really important because I think when we think about what it takes to make lasting change for students and improve their outcomes long term, it takes more than one stakeholder to do that, right? And so hence the need for an OBC ecosystem to begin with, and then why we need that ecosystem to come together and center all of those conversations and the learning and the growth around what it means to work together to improve those student outcomes.
Thanks, Brittany. I love that. That's really cool. And I love that idea of like just this is one of the things we talk a lot about, right? Like, so how are we modeling in our ways of working the same things that we have seen to be most successful when our districts and providers and schools are working together? And so, in that vein, right, when you're in a school building, OBC is a team sport. When you're in a district office, OBC is a team sport. When you're at
Mhm.
a state level, it's a team sport, right? And then so at the national level, it is also a team sport, making sure that we're bringing together all the stakeholders across the ecosystem. I'll tell you, I was a little bit nervous about having everybody across the ecosystem together last year. And, I shared earlier in this semester how we're really excited to have our providers and districts sitting side by side with one another. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Could you highlight one of the sessions that you think is going to be most valuable that you've been working on recently, Brittany?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to highlight. So yes, and I want to highlight some themes that I'm noticing across the
Oh,
session.
yeah, I love that. That's even better.
So I'm going to answer your question without answering your question, as I've heard people say. um, so what I'm really appreciating as we're meeting, for to your point, with districts and providers on the same call, planning sessions together, I appreciate that these sessions are centered around OBC storytelling and knowledge sharing, and the conversations are honest and optimistic at the same time, right? From both the provider side and from the district side. Those conversations, the collaboration, involving everybody from the beginning, and really making this, to your point, around modeling what we want to see, not a siloed event from the planning all the way through to the execution of the event and the sessions themselves. Um, so some of the other highlights are thinking about districts with some of our smaller districts, very rural districts, to represented all the way to some of our largest OBC districts that are among the largest in the nation. Um, and then I think about like panels we have where we're featuring people from Accelerate and the Arkansas Department of Education and Texas Education Agency. We're bringing all of these people together, and it isn't just an isolated, okay, well, this session here or a one-off there. It's a theme throughout the entire convening. And even with the providers, right? We've got representation from high impact tutoring providers, ed tech instructional intervention providers, and then even our newest product line for curriculum-based professional learning, they're participating in several sessions as well. So for example, we have one session thinking around CBPL, where one of our smaller districts from our newly launched state-based cohort in Arkansas, one of their district leaders will be sharing why she decided to do OBC, thinking about risk and opportunity and readiness. In that same session, we'll have representatives from TNTP sharing why they decided to join the CBPL cohort. So it's the sessions really focus on kind of pivots and partnerships, right? That balance of readiness versus opportunity, and just really everybody kind of showing up from their space in that ecosystem and contributing their voice in service of that collaborative experience.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. It's going to be such a wonderful event. And I think that, like, we always, in addition, there's a lot of analogies for OBC. We talk
Yeah.
about this a lot, right? One of them,
Mhm.
in addition to the OBC as a team sport, is like, it's like peeling back layers of an onion to really get
Mhm.
it for kids, right? And so I'm really hearing that in the theme in terms of like how to hold true that like the work that we do for students is really challenging, and it can also be really joyful and rewarding and meaningful for the adults and for the lives of the students that we really work to serve. So we would love to hear, like, what are your parting words as we get ready for convening, Johnson?
So ultimately, this convening showcases how OBC is meeting this moment in K-12 education, and how you can be a part of that moment and this movement from whatever corner of the OBC ecosystem you're currently standing in. So thank you for showing up and being a part of the OBC movement with us.